Hey, how's it going? This is Farhan. I'm at the Toronto Reference Library today. As you can see, I've squatted. I'm going to record this whole video in a squat position. I've been listening to Kelly Starrett, Dr. Kelly Starrett. He wrote this book called Desk Bound, and before that he wrote Becoming a Supple Leopard, and then before that he wrote Ready to Run. It's a CrossFit guy, a mobility coach, trains amazing athletes and whatnot. And I'll get into Kelly Starrett in future videos, but this video is mostly about where the channel is headed, and what we're up to, what the hell happened to Doc Testosterone, what's going to happen moving forward, and so on. First thing I want to convey is gratitude to you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for staying with us for years now. It's been more than 2 years since I first recorded a YouTube video. I think it was July 2015. So it's been 2 years and a bit. And I'm in Toronto right now. I'm very happy to be here. Things are very accessible. I'm in the reference library. Behind me you see a green screen that they let students borrow and library card holders borrow. So it's a really amazing city. I'm very happy to be here. And if you're in Toronto, great. You're fortunate to be here. And the channel is headed towards this field called choice architecture or behavioral architecture. How do you manufacture your environment to make it conducive to your success, so you don't procrastinate, so you don't give in to your vulnerabilities, to your sensitivities? So over the last 5 months, I think we haven't put up a YouTube video in more than 2 months now. And over the last 5 or so months, I've been doing a lot of soul searching. I went to South America, I went to Brooklyn, I went to Manhattan, I went to Montreal. I visited some places and underwent a lot of pain, a lot of depression. And I kind of now have come out of it. I mean, look, it's a lifelong journey. You never really come out of this stuff, but there's a lot of new things that have happened in my life, which I will cover here to you, convey in the next, years to come on YouTube, as well as other, other protocols, other platforms, other ways of conveying my message to the world. And so I want to talk a little bit about where the channel is going, where I'm at, what can you expect from this channel. So first and foremost, no more of the, alpha male mumbo jumbo stuff, with like, you know what I mean, right? No more of that. I want to be peaceful. Like I really like being peaceful and listening to my heart. And Luke, my best friend, he's been my main teacher along the way, and he really conveyed to me some things where we're always listening to our brain. We're always listening to the head, right? Like, where's the proof? Who said that? And how can I get more pain? And how can I do more? And we never take a step back to become smart at the basic things. We never take a step back to see, is there something simple that I'm doing wrong with my life? Is there something that I can tweak in my environment, in my physical, mental, spiritual, cognitive, metaphysical, emotional environment to be happier, right? So there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to cover, things like there's a thing called via negativa, which is a Nassim Taleb term, where he talks about how subtracting things from life, minimizing materialistic possessions, is actually the real key to success and happiness, and being badass or whatever you want to call it. And so we're going to get into a lot of that. I've read a lot of books over the last 5 months, like tons of books, really hard to read stuff, a lot of research papers as well. I've delved into different things, and I want to convey all that to you. One very interesting field is the interpretation of books, right? So I might read a book a certain way and you might read a book a certain way, and we get completely different things out of the book. And so the experience you've had in life up until the point you read a book is how you're going to read a book. So the value I might get from books might be very different from what you get. So for example, when I read finance books and I talk to my finance friends, I get way more out of the book than they got, because they sort of took it for granted. For me, finance is something spectacular, human decision making. How do we decide on how to spend our money and whatnot? My back is starting to kind of like hurt because I just did a 1 hour massive Pilates session here with my personal trainer, Sue, at Equinox. And my God, we worked on some external obliques and it was just fantastic. Speaking of fitness, just a little tangent here. I'm vegan. It's been more than 3 months, purely vegan, no meat, no dairy, no eggs. And what I've been eating and sort of like custom made plans for what to eat and stuff. I'll probably give those out at some point in the near future. If you're interested, comment below. Let me know if you want some vegan plans. Not to like boost testosterone or any of that mumbo jumbo, but just stuff I've been eating. I'm just gonna kind of like factually tell you what I've been eating. I've been feeling good. I've lost weight. I know that. I remember I was about 170, anywhere from 175 to 180. And now I'm about 168. So I've dropped weight. My inflammation is gone. Especially in my gut section, inflammation is completely gone. The belly is gone in quite a bit. And I'm trying to get to my natural state, my natural, you call it set point, my natural weight. And I'm getting there. Strength training twice a week, doing Pilates once a week. I'm salsa dancing 6 days a week, doing some yoga here and there, and being very careful in how I move, right? So, one thing we're going to talk about moving forward is how do you configure your physical environment, right? So, for example, sitting is like cancer, right? So when you sit on a chair, that's equivalent to smoking. And people who sit on desks for, or sit on chairs on a desk for 12 to 14 hours a day, they're really hurting their life. And if you're one of them, you're hurting your life. And a lot of that kind of stuff I'm going to get into, reading Dr. Kelly Starrett's stuff and mobility and movement and feeling my own body, right? So going around, when you're drinking from a water fountain, your back is a little bit rounded. Or when you are picking up something, you might round your back, but you don't need to. You can bend your knees and do it like a deadlift. You can bend your knees and keep your back straight, your shoulders straight like that, and really be in a very strong, athletic, and robust position when you do these things. So these are the types of things we're going to get into. We're going to get in a lot of smartphone addiction, how to overcome it, what to specifically do with your cell phone, how to strategize where you put your icons, how do you access different apps, which screen to put which apps in, where to put your phone when you go to sleep, what to do when you wake up. All of this is going to get you to do deep work, right? There's a book called Deep Work by this is a Duke computer science professor, Cal Newport. Yeah. He is badass. He's done an entire TED talk on, you should not be on social media anymore if you want to get shit done. And we're going to get into a lot of this stuff. I've been reading Harari's like Sapiens, Homo Deus. I've been reading a lot of Nassim Taleb's stuff, Anti-Fragile, Black Swan. Just getting into a lot of autism research, because there's this theory that Silicon Valley was designed by autistic individuals because, first of all, they can focus and they can code. They can pay attention to very specific things and almost obsess about it. But also they want a way to communicate without face-to-face conversation because it's hard for them to be in social environments. So there's this entire aspect of that. Some things about me, just personal life. I'm starting an early childhood education program in January of 2018, so in a few months. And I'm going to become a kindergarten teacher. I'm going to become an early childhood teacher. I want to educate the future leaders of society. And I really want to understand education and understand how to allow young kids to learn based on their learning abilities, not shove things in their throat or, have them shut up when they want to ask questions. No, I want to make that curiosity greater, like spark that curiosity in a young woman or a young man. So I'm enrolling in that. I'm starting interviewing. I just interviewed, but I'm starting at an autism clinic very soon. I'm going to volunteer once a week there. And a lot of good things are happening in life right now. So I just wanted to let you know, thank you so much. Immense gratitude from Farhan to you, to staying with the channel and listening all these years and commenting and liking and sharing, subscribing. Thank you. And that's what I want to convey. And the channel is moving away from all the hormone talk, how to boost testosterone and weight loss and all these things, because I believe that we have to take a step back. Because sometimes you will get a program, like a weight loss program or a muscle building program or a testosterone boosting program, but you can't do it because you're addicted to certain things. You might be addicted to pornography. You might be addicted to video games or smartphones or social media or sex or misery, right? Feeling sorry for yourself, being a victim. You might be addicted to a lot of different things, television, sugar. And I think, and I really believe, I'm very confident that it's important to get out of those negative habits or addictions before you can do any of the plans of anything, right? Of any improvement in your life. I think we need to subtract many things from our life. Subtracting material possessions, subtracting negative thoughts, subtracting negative people, subtracting clothes that you don't need, or books that are laying around that you're never going to get to, or give them away to people, like have someone benefit from them, or anything. We're going to get into unsubscribing to email lists and newsletters, to remove junk from your mailbox, to get rid of your apps that you never use or you rarely use or you shouldn't use. Get rid of those. We're going to get into the specifics of how Snapchat does certain things to get you addicted, so you use the app every day. We're going to get into how Facebook does variable, they exhibit certain things in a variable manner, so your brain thinks of it as gambling. So you get like the slot machine effect when you're in Facebook, or even when you use your smartphone, it's like a slot machine. You're playing a slot machine at a casino. It's very equivalent to that. We're going to get into all of that stuff, the ethics of design, how to make your choices easier and more beneficial to your life. So we're going to get into a lot of great things: human decision making, behavioral finance, behavioral economics. That's where the channel is going. That's where I'm going. And I love this field. We're going to get into things like climate change and what do we need to think about when we look at that, right? Or things like cults, and we're going to get into things like extinctions. How do we think about extinctions? How do we think about our place in the universe? What is happening? Life started on Earth 3 billion years ago. The Earth is 4.8 billion years old. So if I come from the Earth, the Earth is like my mom, then should I not care about the Earth? Does that mean I'm actually ever going to die? Maybe I'm never going to die because the Earth never dies or the universe never dies. And these are like my parents. Anyway, we're going to get into some spirituality, some mysticism and stuff like that. It's going to get really interesting, this channel now, because, I'm kind of free, right? Like I'm going to become a teacher, so I don't really need to get paid through this. I'm just going to provide free stuff, and even if we have products, like I'm working on a product right now, a choice architecture product, where it's like 66 days of audios. Every day you get a different audio and a bunch of bonuses and a lot of books and stuff like that. And I don't know, I'm going to just let my marketing team, my business team decide all that. I'm not worried about any of that. I don't even check my email anymore. I don't read the YouTube comments. I'm not on social media. I haven't been on social media in 3 months, man. 3 months. I've hired people to check my social media and read my comments and then report back to me. So when you comment, or when you send me an email, or when you provide some kind of query, I have an entire team that reads that and conveys that back to me. So I've fucking figured that shit out. Thank God. Thank God. And I'm very much paying attention to the physical environment, meeting people physically. And a lot of cool content is about to come. A lot of practical, very valuable stuff you can apply to your life today, right now. And I'm gonna, do these like ranty videos and long videos and just gonna have fun now on YouTube. I don't have to read any negative comments. I'm really happy. So if you write negative stuff, I'm never gonna access it because I've told my team, don't give me any of that shit. If you provide value, you're positive, you're a happy person, then I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna answer your questions to the best of my ability. So comment below, let me know what you think about where we're headed, what's happening to the channel, what's happened to me, what do you think about, my new style, and yeah, a lot of good stuff to come, and I hope to improve your life for the better, and make your choices easier, make your behavior change in such a way that improves your quality of life and the quality of life of everyone around you. So that's it for today. This is Farhan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.